Hello, I'm Beulah Salyer, and I am a Senior Ruby Brand Ambassador for Plexus Worldwide. And I have recently been challenged to share my health testimonial again. It's been a while, and something happened last week. I traveled to corporate for their Rubies on the Rise event, and I was reminded of how far I have really come, even better than I can remember. I just turned 57 and I feel better than I have in many years. So what happened is I forgot and left my cell phone on the charger in our room, and I was already loaded on the bus to go to corporate from the hotel and realized I did not have my phone, and everyone else was already on the bus, and our room was a long way. So I wasn't even going to ask if I could go back and get it. I didn't want to inconvenience anyone or make them wait on me. And everybody was like, "Oh, you've got to go get your phone. I would be lost without my phone." So I had on a dress, and it wasn't high heels, but they were about 1.5 inches, I guess. And y'all, I ran all the way back to the room to get my phone and ran all the way back. And when I got back to my seat, I said, there's no way that I could have done that before Plexus. And what I didn't tell them is I couldn't have done that in elementary school. That was one of my hardest things in PE class, was running. I was strong. I could hold chin-ups as long as anyone else in my class. There was only one more person in my class that could hold chin-ups longer than me. And I was very strong and able to do a lot of, I was fit, but I could not run because my side would double me over in pain. And didn't know why, but looking back now, I know why, because I had a disease in my gut and I wasn't able to go to the bathroom, and that was an issue that I had my whole entire life. So when I sat there and thought about what I just did, I was a little overwhelmed. And then when I got to the room where the training was, one of the presenters of the training, Miss Sheila Medina, the very first diamond in our company, was sitting beside me on the bus, and I had just made that statement to her. I could have never done that before Plexus, and she knew how far my room was away because her room was nearby. So she actually asked me to share my health testimonial in the room, because she was talking about how we need to have belief in the products. And it had been a while since I had shared my testimonial, and there was a lot of things that I could have said and didn't. But since then, there were a lot of other Ruby ambassadors in the room, and several have reached out to me asking me if I have my health testimonial saved so that they could share it with their friends. So if I can help one person, it will be worth it to get on here and stutter and get all nervous. So my disclaimer is, this is my own personal health journey. Everyone's results will vary based on your diet, your lifestyle, your consistency, the amount of time that you give the products. But Plexus doesn't make any claims to treat, cure, or prevent any diseases or illnesses. But I was really struggling with my health before Plexus. I had been in the hospital. I have had surgeries to remove part of my intestines. to just try to survive, because the scarring and ulcers had narrowed to where I had a blockage and food would not go down. And so it was projectile vomiting to get the food back out. And I lived on pureed foods and liquids for over a year, just because my doctor wouldn't let me have a referral to a surgeon because of my age. I had just turned 40 when I was in the hospital for a week on antibiotics and steroids, because the infection had come out into my system, in my gut, my abdomen, my pelvis. And so I tried all of the meds through all the years. I found out that I had the disease in my early 30s, and I tried the infusions, I tried the cancer drugs, the immunosuppressants, all of the things. Pretty much lived on antibiotics and steroids for the last 10 to 20 years before Plexus. So I was really searching and praying for answers, trying to figure out how I could survive and not be on the meds because they made me so sick. And I prayed and prayed, and we were just out one day and we found this book called The Maker's Diet, and it talked about lifestyle changes, foods to avoid, foods to eat, supplements to use, especially for people with diseases in their gut. So I really felt that that was my answer. I had asked dietitians and doctors and GIs and all the things, if you will just tell me what to eat and what not to eat, I will do whatever you say. I just have to survive. At that point, I did not think I would live to see our son graduate. I was so sick, I had to go and buy little girl's clothes in the store. I was as small as our son, who was still in elementary school. We'll try not to cry. I knew that God had put nutrients and things on this earth for us. My heritage is American Cherokee Indian, and ancestors knew all the things that you could go out in the woods and in the fields and whatever and get medicine for your body. And I knew that God had provided what we needed naturally, without doing chemicals to put a band-aid on or to trick our brain into thinking everything was okay when it really wasn't. But this had me so baffled, I wasn't sure what to do. And the only advice they could give me was, if it bothers you, don't eat it. Right. Okay. I just could not believe that I was hearing that, and I did not give up. I did not stop searching. I did not stop praying. I did not stop looking for solutions and answers. And so when I found that book, I really just cried, because I had no idea the author had the same disease as me, and it showed a before and after of his progress, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is the answer I've been praying for.